Yeah. शिव भगवान की जय जय और प्रेमानंद।
written by Narottam Das Thakur, entitled Sapakshara Bhagavat Viraha Janita Viraha. Jayalilo Prematana Corona Pacho Jayalilo Prematana Corona Pacho Jayalilo Seno Prabhu Kota Geda Acharya Thakur Seno Prabhu Kota Geda Acharya Thakur Kamona Sarupa Kamsanata of the treasure of divine love, and was filled with compassion and mercy, whereas such a personality as Srinivas Acharya gone. Where am I, Swami Damodar and Rupa Goswami? Where is Sanatan? Where is Raghunath Das, the savior of the fallen? Where are my Raghunath Bhakta and Gopal Bhakta? And where is Krishnadas Kaviraj? When did Lord Gauranga, the great dancer, suddenly go? I will smash my head against the rock and enter into the fire. When will I find Lord Gauranga, the reservoir of all wonderful qualities? Being unable to attend the association of Lord Gauranga, accompanied by all his devotees, in whose association he performed his pastimes, Narottama simply weeps. Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Bhasavada Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Guruvani Prasad Nirvise Sunaravi Vasyata Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Bhasavada Srimati Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Sri Guru Vandana Kori, Taha Charan Kori, Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada, Ajat Sikha Guru, Sabe Vansha Katmakari, Kripa Karo, Guchu Disha. So we should remember today the contribution, priceless contribution of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur to this Hare Krishna mission developed by Srila Prabhupada, his disciple, later on. In the modern age, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and his son, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, re-established the movement of Lord Chaitanya. In the time of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the movement of Lord Chaitanya had been taken over by a class of Sahajiyas. Prakrita Sahajiya means easygoing devotees. They call themselves devotees, call themselves followers of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but actually they are not following properly the rules and regulations. They are simply enjoying the kirtan sometimes. They have kirtan, but they are not following the rules and regulations of spiritual life. So there were many of them at that time, even now, so they are still there. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur had counted 13 Alpa Sampradaya. Alpa means not bona fide. Like Gaur, Vedavesa, and so on. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur made a great contribution for the movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by writing many books on the philosophy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and on starting again the Sankirtan movement in a genuine manner. At that time, most of the elite of the society in West Bengal, Orissa, they considered Chaitanya Mahaprabhu certainly as a great devotee, but his movement that he started at that time in the 16th century had become taken over by people who were not responsible. So they had very little, practically no appreciation for the movement of Lord Chaitanya at that time, 19th century, beginning of 20th century. So it was the endeavor of Bhaktivinoda Thakur to re-establish the purity of Lord Chaitanya's movement, teachings, philosophy, and so on. He also started Namhatta to preach in all the villages and so on. He was blessed by a son at that time, Bhimat Prasad. He received the name Bhimat Prasad when he took birth in Jagannath Puri. He was the third son of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And later on he became known as Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So Srila Prabhupada told us that in his young age, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was blessed by Lord Jagannath himself. At one time, because Bhaktivinoda Thakur had his house on the main road of the Ratiyatra, so when Bhima Prasad at that time, he was just a young baby, so he was taken by his mother to see the Ratiyatra. And it happened that the Ratham stopped in front of their house. They had Bhaktivinoda Thakur was the magistrate at that time, so he had a house just on the main road, and Ratham stopped there. And the wife of Bhaktivinoda Thakur took her son and went on the Ratham, and just on the Jagannath, they went just in front of Lord Jagannath, inside the Ratham. One garland fell down from Lord Jagannath, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, that Bhimat Prasad. So it was a very special blessing that Bhimat Prasad received at that time as a young baby, young boy. That blessing became fructified in course of time, and amongst all the children of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he became very exalted devotee of the Lord. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave a special training to his son in the field of publications. Later on, many of the writings of Bhaktivinoda Thakur were reprinted by his son, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, such as so many books were reprinted. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur also received the blessing of his father in this way. And he was also trained in book printing he was going to the press and learning how to print books. Srila Prabhupada, our spiritual master, told us that his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, gave him a very special instruction regarding book printing. At one time in the later period of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur preaching, he had established many temples, 64 Gaudiya in many cases, including outside of India. And regarding the establishment of the mat in Bagbazar, Calcutta, it was being constructed in a very grand manner. But at that time, some of the disciples of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur were in a mood of dispute. Who will get that room? I want to get that room. No, I want to get this room, that room. They were disputing who is going to get this room and that room. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, when he saw this, he was very much displeased, considering that they are not behaving properly according to our mission. They are simply trying to acquire some property, but not considering the importance of preaching activities. So the temple was constructing very first class marble and so on. And so he told that Guru Maharaj, he told that at that time I considered that let me sell this marble, let me collect some money and then utilize the money for book printing. So that shown the book printing is more important than building temples, costly temples. It can be considered as 50% of the mission. So this teaching that Srila Prabhupada received from his spiritual master and which he implemented afterwards when Prabhupada was writing his commentary on the Srimad Bhagavatam, he had no money, trying to collect some sufficient money to print the book, first volume of Srimad Bhagavatam. In this way, Srila Prabhupada took instruction about the importance of book printing. This morning I was reading some of the lectures of the Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. So I don't know, I think we have our next speaker. Next speaker is coming.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunritam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swaparamiham. Hare Krishna. Before we start discussing the glories of Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada, I sincerely seek the blessings of Mr. Sananand, Gurudev Prabhu, and all the assembled devotees over here, that so that we can together glorify this great Acharya in our Sampradaya, by which we will get immense benefit in our lives. It is described in the scripture that by singing the glories of the great Acharyas, one will attract the mercy of Lord Hari. Lord Hari will please you. And the goal of life is that this Bhagavatam, Sansiddhi Hari Turushanam. So we are all assembled over here is to ultimately please the Supreme Personality Godhead, Shri Radha. Today we heard from these wonderful devotees like our Ananda Prabhu, Ishwar Bhagavatam class, they gave a just brief little bit glories of Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur. And now, for a great fortune, we could hear from Prabhuji once again. So now, we'll just like a person who, after hearing from great personality with grateful heart, wanted to repeat the same at one's level best. That is great fortune of the persons. So the great souls, so Prabhupada disciples, they embarked the Murti of Prabhupada of glorifying the great Acharyas. And at our level best, if we can repeat the same, then that's our great fortune. So following that footstep, I'd like to start with a simple glorification. It was in 1936, 31st December, happened to be the same tithi as today in this year. That was the day this great Acharya of Sampradaya had left this planet to the spiritual world, but left his teachings, left his followers, and left his legacy for all of us, for all time to come. To sing, glorify, hear, and aspire to come close to his expectation. It was a time way back when Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur happened to be in Jagannath Puri Dham. And he was serving there in government personnel over there. Even today, when we go to Jagannath Puri, we see Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur's house, which happened to be Gaudiya Math now. There he was residing. And he was he was seeing the pure, unaltered message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was being vanishing, was being diluting, and the message was not being followed appropriately and properly. And the society was being degrading. There are very, very few pure followers of Lord Mahaprabhu was there, but it was not enough for them to bring up and keep the same message intact. So in the mood of Srila Advaita Acharya, he was offering his prayer, just like Srila Advaita Acharya offered his prayer, by which the Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in this world. Bhaktivinoda Thakur offered his prayers. My dear Lord, I can't do this. No, in fact, nobody in this world at this point of time can do this. Please send one of your eternal associates in the spiritual world who can happen to protect the wonderful message of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Let there be a ray of Vishnu appear in this world who can prevail this message, the pure message of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then it was in 1874, from the house of Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur and his good wife Bhagavati Devi, the wonderful Acharya of ours appeared, Srila Bhakti Thakur. In Jagannath temple, those who have known, when the bhoga is offered to Jagannath, those who have seen or those who have gone there or those who have not gone there can go next and see. After the bhoga is being offered or while the bhoga is being offered to Jagannath, there is a person who will come with a big gong and play that. Not only in Jagannath temple, main temple, but goes to every single temple and offer this prayer. That's the way they invite everybody to come and wait to receive the Mahaprasad of Lord Jagannath. Before that happens, the Mahaprasad plate of Lord Jagannath goes to one specific temple called Bimala Devi's temple. Bimala Devi is a Katyayani Devi who performs severe austerity to please the Supreme Personality Godhead, Lord Hari, so that the Mahaprasad of Lord Hari would be available for everybody. She happened to be the mother of this world. So being a mother, she wanted every son, every child of her should receive the supreme mercy of the Supreme Personality Godhead in the form of Mahaprasad. So to cut the short story big story short, Lord appeared in front of her and benedicted her that in Jagannath Puri Dham, when I reside, you will also reside in the courtyard of my temple. And after the bhoga is offered to me, it will come to you. And you are the first person to receive the Mahaprasad. And after you receive the Mahaprasad, that becomes Mahaprasad. And you serve to anybody and everybody. Everybody is qualified to take this Mahaprasad. And he told in many literatures that Lord Jagannath Mahaprasadam is never get contaminated. Some of the Odia literatures mention that it is so pure that a Brahmana can even take the Mahaprasad of Jagannath from the mouth of a dog and eat it. It's such high level of sanctification about the Mahaprasad. It says that in Odia, Chandala Tharu Brahmana Chadai Khai. That means the Brahmana will receive from the hand of even a dog eater and eat the Mahaprasad. That is the great Mahaprasad at Jagannath Puri. And this all happened because of Bimala Devi's severe austerity to benedict the whole world. So Bimala is a very special personality in the Jagannath temple. And knowing all these things, Bhaktivinoda Thakur offered the name to his son as Bimala Prasad, who happened to be the mercy of Bimala Devi, which will purify the entire world. And then it is mentioned that when Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur appeared, a very special thing happened. The umbilical cord of the child was wrapped around the body, just like a secret thread. Everybody was astonishing. He must be a great personality, he must be going to a great personality. And then, as per the tradition, they went for the astrological calculations. And one astrologist said that this boy is not going to be any other ordinary child or ordinary man's own. He is definitely Mahapurusa, a great personality. It was been confirmed at the time of his astrological calculation itself. Later on, at the age of 6 months, as Prabhuji has already described the wonderful pastime, when Rakshatra procession was going on, Bhagavati Devi brought the infant child to Lord Jagannath's cart and she placed in the chariot. After her prayers, the baby, Vimal Prasad, on his own way offered his prayers. There was a sanctified garland from Lord Jagannath, transcendental body fell down, surrounding the neck of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur was ecstatic. He was thinking that prayers will be answered now. And this child must be sent by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then the child was very special. He was very dear to the parents, very dear to everybody, especially the Vaishnavas. At the age of 7 years, he was so expert, he recited all 700 slokas of Bhagavad Gita at the age of 7 years. Not only 700 slokas of Bhagavad Gita, he could able to speak in his child way of the commentary on those slokas. And then it was time to study. He was a brilliant student. He has special fun and interest of reading the great literature of the two personalities compiled by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, his own father, and Srila Narottam Thakur. He was kind of absorbed in those books, studying, memorizing, and realizing those literatures. When he was around 10 years old, 9-10 years old, like a Aishora age, 10 years old. So, that was the time the people generally become nutty, move here and there. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was a very sober young boy. Being a great saintly devotee, Bhaktivinoda Thakur in general invited great sadhus to his house. And they speak Srimad Bhagavatam and various literatures. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was the first man to sit in front and hear the rapt attention of every sadhu. That is how he received complete blessing of all sadhus who visited their home. By seeing these wonderful transcendental qualities of his son, Bhaktivinoda Thakur was very ecstatic and very happy. And he, seeing that his son is now 13 years old, he told him, Bhaktivinoda Thakur told him, now is the age you should start learning the worshipping the deity. And he gave him the wonderful deity of Kurmadeva. And he taught him that by worshipping the Lord in form of Kurmadeva, you will be stable in your spiritual life. Kurmadeva is the personification of the Lord who helps the devotee to stable in their spiritual life. And also, Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave him worship of Lord Nrsimhadev, the supreme protector of all the devotees from all time to time. And apart from worshipping these two deities, Srila Bhaktivinoda Saraswati Thakur, in his age of 13 years, he started worshipping the holy name by chanting the Mahamantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was very happy to brought him the Tulsi Kanthi beads from Jagannathpur temple and gave him. Start chanting on these beads. And he was happy and obedient child of his father. He was chanting the holy name. Days was passing and he was growing, and it was the age of 16 years. So at that age, generally what the people do, they want to form a different group, different sect, have their own speculative thoughts. But Srila Bhaktivinoda Saraswati Thakur, unlike this, he had his own group, but the group he named as August Assembly. The name is August Assembly. And in that assembly, the whole and sole goal is to discuss bhakti, the cult of bhakti, and spiritual practice. Nothing else. Only those two topics will be discussed in that assembly, August Assembly, of young boys of his age. And there was an eligibility criteria too. The criteria was those who vow to take lifelong celibacy. Many great personalities joined. We are not sure how many continued, but definitely Srila Bhaktivinoda Saraswati Thakur followed the vow through his wonderful transcendental pastimes in this earthly planet. As far as his academic studies is concerned, he received scholarships from his college, that is Sanskrit College in Kolkata. And not only that, he received scholarship once. He was very renowned renowned student over there. He was such a renowned personality that the college management decided to give him the job of professor in the same college before even he completed his college's academic exams. Such a great personality. He was memorizing everything so quickly and able to present in such a eloquent way. The students can able to pay their attention and grasp. That's what every management wants, that teacher should be, professor should be. But unlike any other person in this world, any other young boy in this world, he left the college study in between. He didn't accept the position, he left the college study. And this is because of his humility. And he was thinking, if I continue to study over here, if I have to be a professor, eventually I have to work more, and then my parents will ask me to get married, and all these things have been inflicted. Better that I have to give it up and focus my thing in my spiritual life. He left that. And then it was the time, the whole historical event took place, for which he has been glorified and will continue to remain glorified for all time to come. It was a time the Vaishnavism was being criticized, and even though there were some followers of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu there, the so-called great people, those are in the big post of so-called Vaishnava cult, they have decided that not to accept Lord Chaitanya as a supreme personality Godhead. So Gaudiya Vaishnava was been rejected as the spiritual movement. There was nobody. And the great saintly persons like from Vrindavan, the Goswami family of Radharaman temple, and the great followers of Shyamananda Pandit, they were kind of urging Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, please do something. You are the person who has good position in government and people regard you, respect you, please do something. We urge you to protect it. And at that very time, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur wrote a article, and that article was presented to his father Bhaktivinoda Thakur. When he read the article, he was elated. He said, "Here is a person looks like he can do great change in this world." Meanwhile, by the will of providence, it was a time to have a debate. And at that time, Bhaktivinoda Thakur was sick, seriously sick. And he sent his son, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, please go and present the topic and the authenticity from the scripture of proving that Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Supreme Personality Godhead, Krishna himself. Brajanandan ji, Sachi Sutta Haila Sai Balarama Haila Nitai. Please establish this. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur went over there and presented from various scriptures, various Upanishads, Srimad Bhagavatam, in such a way, in such a highly dignified way that everybody over there would be able to appreciate him. And some of them, they were able to ask questions, confirmations. Bhaktivinoda Saraswati Thakur established from the pages of various scriptures, and they all kept quiet. They had no way to do anything in counter with Bhaktivinoda Saraswati Thakur. And he presented from the various scriptures starting from Bhagavad Gita that the culture what has prevailed in Bengal and Odisha is not appropriately authenticated in scripture. That the caste system is not by birth, it is by qualities and by activities. He quoted from Bhagavad Gita, Chatur Varna Maya System Karma Vihagasa. It's been given Bhagavad Gita, and Lord said that I made it, nobody else made it, and nobody has the right to change it. And also, it was a time when the whole Odisha and Bengal border, that area, even Bengal, it was prevailing that the caste Goswamis and the caste Gurus are the people those who are initiating. And initiation should happen from the Guru who happened to be a strict Brahmana. And according to them, it is by birth. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was contemplating and confirming that that's not the right way. The great messenger of the Lord, the great Acharya in the Sampradaya, Srila Samananda Pandit, is not appeared in Brahmin family. But his disciple Rasikananda was a Brahmana man, and he has received initiation from him. It was before. So whatever talking is not right. And then keeping aside the Odisha stuff, let's sit to Bengal. The great Acharya Narottam Thakur, who happened to be the recipient of the Krishna Prema from Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he has not appeared in the Brahmana family, but his disciple Ganganarayan Chakravarti and others, they are from great Brahmana family. And they received initiation from him. So whatever you are talking is not authentic according to all your philosophy. It's not acceptable. And Bhaktivinoda Saraswati Thakur presenting from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, 7th chapter and 8th chapter, that anybody who is expert in the philosophy of science of Krishna consciousness, he should be accepted as Guru. Mahaprabhu tells that Namrata, Jare dekhe tare kaha Krishna upadesh, amar ajna Guru hai taro idesh. Whomever you meet, you speak of Krishna, advise of Krishna, and in this way, you become the teacher and deliver the whole world. And this was for everybody, not only the people who appeared in Brahmana family. And then he quotes from Charitamrita Madhyanda, 8th chapter. He said, it mentions that Iva Vipra Kivanyas Shudra Keno Noe Jai Krishna Tattvaveda Sei Guru Hai. Whether he is Vipra Brahman, or whether he is sannyasi, or whether he is even Sudra. But if he is Krishna Tattvaveda, he could able to deliver the science of Krishna consciousness thoroughly, properly, then he could be spiritual master. By quoting all these great wonderful literatures, he could able to prove that these caste systems are not appropriate. And they all appreciate it. Meanwhile, at the time, the great devotee of the Supreme Personality Godhead came from Vrindavan. He was the grand disciple of, actually the disciple of Jagannath Das Maharaj was Bhagavad Das Maharaj, and the disciple of Bhagavad Das Maharaj was Gaur Kishore Das Maharaj. It was a time when Gaur Kishore Das Maharaj came from Vrindavan Dham to reside in Navadvip Dham. And Bhakti Vinod Thakur was very much respecting to him. And when Bhakti Vinod Thakur was telling to his son, Bhavan Vimal Prasad, that you must take the spiritual initiation from various scriptures, and Bhakti Vinod Thakur was received the inspiration to take initiation from Srila Gaur Kishore Das Maharaj, who was the reservoir of humility, reservoir of the Vairagya Bhava in the line of Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And he is the personal great acharya, he is the great personality acharya who was overwhelmed with the feeling of Vipralamma, service in separation. He was releasing the Vipralamma Bhava. When he came, Bhaktivinoda Saraswati Thakur went to him and approached him with very humble heart, kindly blessed him with the initiation of Krishna Bhakti. And the great Acharya, Srila Gaur Kishore Das Maharaj was telling him, I am such a small man, I hardly even know how to write, I am a illiterate man. And you are such a great scholar, you have gone to college, you are a scholar, you received scholarship, and meanwhile, you have received also a great title called Siddhanta Saraswati from the great Acharya, from the great literature, from the great linguists of this world and great scholars of this world. Because of your scholarly knowledge on the astrology, and you have written books, Surya Siddhanta, how can I give initiation? And more than that, I am not a qualified person to give initiation to anybody for that matter. Please, don't approach me. Bhakti Saraswati Thakur, thank you for coming and begging at his lotus feet, please initiate me. And next time, by seeing his humility, he told him, well, you could be right student, but I am not the right spiritual master. Okay, if you are thinking so, in my next conversation I will speak to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If he says, then I will give initiation. Imagine, he is such a great personality that he could converse with Lord Mahaprabhu at that time. And then, after some time, he again approached. Did you get chance to speak to converse with Lord Gauranga? Sure. Well, I conversed with Lord Gauranga, but I forgot to ask him about it. And this time, Bhakti Saraswati Thakur, tears gliding from his eyes, soaking his body, sitting at the lotus feet of Gaur Kishore Das Maharaj, said that if this life is not suitable to receive the ultimate mercy from you, Lotus Feet, my dear Lord and Master. What is the result of life? Let this life be end over here. I don't need anything else other than your mercy. By seeing that true humility from the heart of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Gaurav Maharaj, for first time in his whole life, even for the last time, he received only one disciple. He gave the initiation of Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Received the great mercy of his spiritual master. He was very, very greatly happy, and he was trying to, what shall I do? What is your instruction for me? And the great spiritual master told that, please preach that message of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to everybody for that matter. Now all of us who can correlate what this great message is, it is coming in the same disciplic succession. The message what he received from his spiritual master, he gave to his disciple, our dear Sri Prabhupada. You are a young man, you should preach in English language the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to everybody. That same message, what is given to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he given to our Sri Prabhupada. And then, it was a time, a great debate going to happen in place called Midnapur, in Bengal. And it so happened that again, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur went over there. And there was a caste Brahmin. This time they planned that we should catch him. And we should not allow him to cast away our understanding of caste Brahmins. And they all invited him to the stage. He went to the stage. And he's such a great personality. In true humility, he glorified the scripture from the various Upanishads, from various scriptures. Brahmana are a person through whom Lord Vishnu eats. You are such great personalities. I am so happy and so honored to receive the blessings of all you great souls over here. You are the people those who can sanctify the whole world just by your presence. What to think of your talking and speaking? In this way, he profusely glorified Brahmanas. In such glorification, truly from the scripture, the Brahmanas become completely satisfied in his glorification. And they were kind of applauded to hear whatever he speaks. And then the great Singha Guru, the spiritual master who is known as Lion Guru, he spoke the great philosophy of Krishna consciousness, casting down all the birthrights. And nobody could even dare to speak against that philosophy. And at the end, it is not only that, at the end of the talk, whole assembly of audience, they decided to take the dust from his lotus feet. And it so happened, they have to call the police constable to protect him from this activity. And some great fellows, they thought that before the public come and do that, let's do something. They did something very special. They got a bowl of water and requested him to put down his leg over there. And they got this chanam sprinkled over everybody. Everybody is satisfied. That was a great assembly took place in Midnapur. And he is the person who could able to satisfy everybody with his thorough knowledge, wonderful humility, but keeping intact Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching. And when he was glorifying Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message and discarding all this so-called philosophy, in one corner of the room, his spiritual master, Srila Gaurav Maharaj, was sitting and releasing his students' talk. And at the end he said that, here is my Prabhu, who can speak so eloquently and people will admire him. I believe that is where the whole term of Prabhupada started. It is started by Srila Gaurav Maharaj to admiring his disciple, Srila Bhakti Thakur. And everybody in the Krishna consciousness society, Srila Prabhupada taught us that every man will call each other as Prabhu, Master. And in this way, I'll just quickly complete it in 2 minutes. And it was 1914 where Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur had entered at the last time in this world. And soon after that, 1915, Srila Gaurav Das Babaji Maharaj has ended his at the last time. And it was time for Bhakti Thakur to do something very substantial. Not only just to preach, but something very substantial to carry out the mission of Lord Chaitanya as predicted by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And he is such a great personality. He first thought of performing civil austerities. He went to Navadvip Dham, went to the place where Lord Chaitanya appeared, Janmasthan. He sat there and decided to chant 1 billion names of Krishna. Every single day he was chanting 192 rounds of Mahamantra, following the footsteps of great Acharya Haridas Thakur. And he followed the 4 months Chaturmasya very, very austerely, taking only one time Mahaprasad of Khichdi. And that too in a specific way which none of us can think of, even imagine to imitate, and we should not do it. We should only aspire. That he was eating that Mahaprasad only once in a day, just like a cow. He will bow down and in his mouth he will take only once, as much as comes, not even hand. That's how he subsisted. After the such severe austerities, and he was also talking the great philosophy of Krishna consciousness. There was a great man whose name was later on become Kunda Vihari Vidyabhushan. He was very fond of hearing from Gaur Kishore Das Maharaj earlier. And Gaur Kishore Das Maharaj told him, you should hear from my Prabhu, Vimal Prasad. And he came to hear. When he heard, he completely surrendered to the lotus feet of Srila Bhakti Thakur. And then the great prediction happened, and the great people are requesting him. Earlier, the devotees were requesting him, the acharyas were requesting him. Now we should preach that cult, we should go to city like Kolkata and go out and preach. And then he was just thinking, sir, I'm just a small, tiny man, what can I do? Now my great father is not there no more. My great teacher, Srila Gaurav Babaji Maharaj left. How can I do alone? What can I do? Such a tiny man. On that very day night, he had a great vision, a dream. In his dream, the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. The Lord Nityananda Prabhu appeared. Advaita Acharya appeared. All Pantattva appeared. And the whole Guru Parampara appeared in front of him. Srila Gaurav Babaji Maharaj appeared. Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj appeared. They said unanimously, we are there with you. We are all with you. Our full blessings with you. Please go ahead and start your mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Continue that. In this way, he was completely blessed and he was determined to go. In the same end, but he was feeling helpless. There's no money, there's nobody, and he was remembering his vision, the dream. They all said that all the facility will come to you, all the resources will come to you. All the money will come to you, all the men will come to you. Just go and start it. In the same way, our dear Srila Prabhupada was traveling in the Atlantic Ocean in Jaladuta. He has no money, he has no men. Even after reaching in Boston, even after reaching New York, there is no money, no man. 2 heart attacks. Just like all of them, the great acharyas, the Supreme Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Nityananda appeared in his vision in the Jaladuta. Supreme Personality of Sri Krishna in his various incarnations appeared in a vision to Lord Srila Prabhupada. We are there with you. We are protecting the ship. It is the same. It is all the same. Parampara repeated. And Srila Prabhupada continued remain successful. And it was the historical year of 1922 in the great place called Ulta Ganga Junction. Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur was sitting in the terrace and giving talk. Srila Prabhupada, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, our great soul master, Prabhupada had to come in ISKCON. He happened to pass by the land, and his friend Naren Malik would have to tell him that let's go and meet the great saintly personality over there who is standing there. He said, I know many people, many sadhus come to my house day in, day out. Some of them they smoke, they do all this nonsense. I don't like. But Naren Malik was kind of insisting him. And with the insist of his friend, Srila Prabhupada is dead. And just when he offered obeisances, the instruction came to him. You are a young man. Preach the message of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in English language. Srila Prabhupada tells that I didn't even introduce who am I. He has given his instruction to me. And Prabhupada is happy to tell that even though not officially, but in the heart of heart, at that very moment, accepted it. He must be my spiritual master. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And then it's already time to end over here. On this very day, at the Jagannath Puri Dham, Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur, while ending his earthly pastime, he called his disciples. He asked them to recite. There was a great disciple of him called Bhakti Rakshak Siddhar Swami Maharaj. He said that please recite the Vaishnava Sam, Sri Rupa Manjari Pada. And he also asked him, please recite Siddhastakam. In this wonderful mood of diving deep into the ocean of bliss of Krishna consciousness, taking the dust of the lotus feet of Rupa and Raghunath, he departed this spiritual world and entered into the spiritual abode for all time to come. He left his legacy, left his teaching, and he left his aspiration for all of us for all time to come, which is brought to all of us by the mercy of his great disciple, his divine bliss, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Prabhupada. So on this auspicious day, let us all bow down at the lotus feet of this great Acharya and seek the dust of his lotus feet. As he was so very dear to his spiritual master, determined, and throughout his life, he was always thinking to aspire to become the speck of a dust at the lotus feet of Rupa Raghunath Goswami. So by following his footsteps, we may assist the great preachers in our society of Krishna consciousness who is helping Srila Prabhupada in their own way. If we can assist them in our own way, that is the great fulfillment and great perfection in our life. With this aspiration, let us offer our obeisances to Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur. Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Maharaj Tiruhavati Mahotsav ki jai. Now we'll have Aarti, Guru Puja, and Parvati Paspanjali. Hare Krishna. If I spoke something inappropriately, propose after this, please forgive me, and please pray that I will hurt in myself. Thanks.
सिद्धांत सत्य प्रभुपाद की
श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की आनंद चकोति वैष्णव की नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की सिखो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंज राधा कुंज गिरि गोवर्धन की वृंदावन धाम की जय, मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय, जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय, गंगा माई की जय, यमुना माई की जय, श्रीमती तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन की जय, श्री श्री गौरीकाई की जय, श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदी और गणेश सुधा समरवती और गणेश सुधा समरवती और गणेश सुधा समरवती और गणेश श्री गुरु श्री गौरंगा और गणेश श्री प्रभुपाद श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज के प्रभुपाद तिरुपति महोत्सव की जय।